Hello, and welcome back to a 1-month update after moving the plants indoors. It's November 10th today. I moved them inside on October 6th. So, yeah, it's just been a little over 1 month, and I would like to take you along, show you the indoor setup for this season. Or at least for now, I guess. Probably things are going to move around a little bit. Wanna highlight a few plants, and yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. So yeah, as you can see, maybe let's just get started from, the floor. It's like a hardwood floor, so it makes noises. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, maybe let's just start on like a higher level. I have 2 kind of bench areas, and then also some plants on the wall. Some plants are hanging, and some plants are kind of mounted and hanging as well. The only natural light source is this window, which would not be enough for this collection. As you can see, the plants are growing under artificial light. I'm using Mars Hydro LED panels for this. I have used them basically since, I want to say November 2020 is when I got those. And yeah, this one is the oldest one I have. And then very quickly I got this second one, these 2 additional ones, and then this last one in the back is the last edition. This is actually a little more fancy than the other ones, but you know. I really like these, and I feel like they have stood the test of time, right? It's been 4 years now. I've bloomed Tolumnias under them. I've bloomed Cattleya walkeriana under them. These are both plants or groups of plants or a species that really need a high level of light, and I managed to bloom them underneath. If you want maybe a little more insight on artificial light, I can make a video about this. It's probably not going to be like a scientific moment, but I think I can maybe talk a little bit about my experience with these lights, and I also have some other, I used to use some spotlights as well, but yeah, I stopped using those. But anyway, so yeah, artificial light. I don't use humidifiers, I don't use heating, I don't use extra ventilation. Once winter comes by, I might use some heat mats just to keep the plants where I feel like they could thrive on higher temperature, a little warmer, but I don't think that's necessary. The plants do experience definite change between day and night temperature-wise, just because these lights, even though they are LEDs, they do get a little warm. The temperature of the room naturally increases during the day, and then it will decrease overnight. I usually don't turn on this radiator for extra heating unless it gets like super cold overnight, like if it's really a negative 10 degrees or something, then I might have it on a little bit, but overall I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, and I like that not having the heat on, or the heater rather on, also helps with this kind of day-night differential in temperature, because especially some of the dendrobiums that are also in this room really do benefit from kind of colder nights when it comes to inducing flowering. Speaking of flowering, so we do have this Cattleya maxima that came from Afri Orchids. This is the first flower that opened. I feel like it has lost a little bit of color intensity. And then there's a second one over here that opened a few days ago. That is still a little more intense, I want to say. I don't know how well this is going to pick up. I don't know if this is strong enough to be considered a rubra color form. I don't think so, actually. I feel like it's still a little paler on camera than it is in real life, but you know. I really like this plant. There was a moment in its life when I thought it's not going to make it, but it made it, and it's, you know, flowering now. I really like it. It smells a little fruity during the day. It has like this kind of ripe gooseberry scent, and I really enjoy that. There's a second Cattleya maxima bud. I don't know if you can actually see that. Oh yeah, there, I think you can see it. It's this one here that's just opening now. So yeah, it's kind of Cattleya maxima season. And while we're talking about Cattleya maxima, let's just go over here. I think in the last video where the plants were still outside, I was talking about this one here. This is the Cattleya maxima cerulean that had a flower buds growing. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it really well, if we focus maybe, but yeah, these were aborted after moving inside. Moving inside, of course, everything changes, the light changes, temperatures, humidity, everything, and I feel like it was just not a good timing for a plant that's kind of first time bloomer, you know, getting ready to put the buds out. But I also didn't feel comfortable keeping them outside for too long anymore. I don't know how much I mentioned this actually in the last video, I don't remember. But basically October 6th was the last weekend day where I was home for basically 2 weekends. So I was gone for 2 weekends, and then, you know, once late October rolls around, suddenly things can get very cold. And I did not want to risk keeping them outside and having them damaged in the cold. So I'd rather sacrifice flowers this year and then have a chance to see the plant another time, if that makes sense. But yeah, in the same vein, this is the Laelia perenniae. There's a huge plastic bag there with a scary face, sorry. But yeah, there's Laelia perenniae. This had actually 4 flower spikes on it. There's one sheath that maybe is staying, but I feel like it has not developed in a while. So here there's one right where a bud was forming, that's gone. Here's another one, the bud was just breaking out, but it aborted. And then where's the 4th? Yeah, this one here. So this is actually really sad because this plant flowered really nicely last year. Very short-lived flowers, but yeah, again, this one moved inside and it just hated it so much. I feel like probably also this plant would like to receive a little more light. You can see that it produces quite a bit of anthocyanin on the underside of the leaf. I feel like probably both the Cattleya maxima and this Laelia perenniae could have handled low temperatures pretty well, but yeah, I didn't want to risk it. So yeah, no flowers. This 2-1. So yeah, I also don't think this is going to develop further. So yeah, no flowers this year, maybe more to come next year. Then the last plant that was kind of working on flowers is this one, and it kept at least one of them. This is the Cattleya germanii semi-alba that was in flower, as you can see here. Previously, I think I showed it also on the channel. This had 3 buds on here, and 1 seems to be continuing. Not gonna complain. I feel like, you know, after moving inside, keeping any flowers at all is a sign of great compassion and willingness to compromise. Also, this plant skipped flowering altogether last year, so I'm like, you know what, whatever you do, you're perfectly beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model, everything you do is perfect, did you sew those tights, you're smiling. Yeah, I don't know, probably if you look at my plants, you'll be like, they're so dry. Yeah, I haven't watered them in 2 weeks. I like to keep the plants very dry when they're inside, because first of all, this floor is going to be ruined if there's any humidity in the room. But second of all, especially these larger pots like with this Cattleya rex, if they stay wet for too long, it's just gonna rot, it's gonna be shit. I don't like that. So I like to keep them a little dry. These mounted ones here are sprayed more or less daily, even though they don't look like that. But I do spray them basically as part of my morning routine. I wake up, I spray them. So these, all the tillandsias, everything that's hanging is sprayed daily, except for the ones that are potted up. So yeah, not everything that's hanging is sprayed daily, but the ones, you know, like the mounted ones, the ones that don't have a lot of substrate around their roots. And while we're here, this is my Cattleya walkeriana, which has flowered twice already. You can see here, this is where the last flowers were. This plant is suffering a little bit. It fell very early on in the growing season. I don't know if you can see this growth that it produced kind of over spring, summer. It's kinked, so it never really grew to its full potential. And then also when I moved it indoors, I found something really horrible, because I mean, if you've been around this channel for a little bit, you know that kind of my big issue in culture is scale. Maybe we can have a look later at some plants that are still facing active scale infestation. But yeah, this one was never hit that badly by it. I think there's one leaf where there was just like a single scale on the backside and it looked kind of sad for a while. I don't know. But this one actually had the entire rhizome everywhere was covered in scale, like completely covered. And they really started to suck this plant completely dry. You can see the leaves are not in a good shape at all. I did spray treatments on my plants in fall, kind of starting in late August. I started to spray my plants weekly with insecticides. Nothing crazy, just like kind of topical treatments. You can see maybe on some of the plants they left a little bit of a film. It's like Sprotzit, this like canola oil and like some chrysanthemum extract based ones. They work really well. I feel like if I treat my plants with this, like scale is removed and it doesn't come back for quite a while. But it works only where it touches the scale insects. And so for this one, since all the scale was underneath, I couldn't see them. I couldn't reach them with this treatment because it's not a systemic insecticide. And so then the entire summer I'm like, what is happening to this plant? You can see there's some dried up dead scale up here. I'm like, what is happening to this plant? What is going on? Why is this suffering? So I thought, oh, it's the fall, or maybe the roots are damaged, but no, it's actually all the scale everywhere. And that's so disheartening because this is really one of my favorite plants in my collection. It's been doing well all these years, but yeah, now just having scale, probably latent scale for months, just took a toll on this plant. I'm not gonna blame it for not blooming. It's fine, you just get ready when you're ready. So yeah, moving on here, also this plant has been hit by this kind of latent scale monster moment. But for this one, it was more on the base of the pseudobulbs. I hate scale. Right now what I'm doing is I'm adding a systemic insecticide to just the water I use to water them. So every plant in here is being systemically treated against scale right now. So hopefully that's gonna help eradicate them. And if that doesn't work, I know there are really great ways to do it, where basically you take every single plant and you wipe them down and everything. But I feel like right now, as you can see, this entire room is full. I don't have space to kind of quarantine the plants after I've cleaned them. And I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's either that, or if I kind of get them off the systemic insecticide and get some predators for these scale insects, But then you kind of need to know which species you have. You need to make these predators happy. I don't know. I'm kind of annoyed. I'm also considering to just trash every plant that has scales so badly that it can't be helped anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But right now I feel like with really watering them with a systemic insecticide, it has helped to at least knock them down to a level where I don't walk into the room and can immediately say, oh yeah, there's scale, there's scale, there's scale. Like, you know, this plant has a little bit sitting there, but that's dead scale, right? It looks like it's alive, but this actually dried out from the systemic already. So that's a really good sign. Let's see, I hope I won't get them resistant, right? Basically only a small population has to survive, be resistant against this treatment, and I'm in big trouble, so yay. Anyways, maybe a little more positive. This is the Ingracum leonis that I've shown also several times on this channel. You can see a spike here and here. So last year it also produced 2 spikes with a total of 5 buds, but only one of them opened. So hopefully this year we can increase that turnout a little bit. That would be really great. Yeah, let's have a look maybe here. Again at the bud, it's just opening. So I think tomorrow, probably in the afternoon, I'll come in and find it and be happy. And while we're looking at this bud, we can also have a look maybe at these. This is some Dendrobium. I forget which one actually. I think it's a natural hybrid. And I think we're working on flowers, right? Here, here, everywhere. This might actually get into bloom soon. I got this actually from a friend of a friend. It's an older orchid grower already, and I don't know if you know any like older orchid growers. Sometimes they just have like so many divisions of the same plant that you're like, I cannot see this anymore. This plant is just going wild. I need to get rid of it. And here are literally like 20 full-grown pots of the same plant that I've just been dividing for the past 10 years. Please just take it. I cannot. I don't have space. And then they just hand out like these fully grown, amazing, beautiful plants. And this is what happened with this one. It's some Dendrobium. If I remember, or if I can find the name, I'm gonna put it on screen right now. But this is exciting. What's not so exciting is the plant right behind it. This is my Cattleya Schrödere. It fell. I don't know if you saw my community post on this. It fell and then the pseudobulb broke off. Ah! Hate that. So basically the entire growth of this season, sorry, I'm like super hunched under the grow lights right now, so love that. But basically the entire growth of the season is lost. I can maybe get the second part of this pseudobulb and show you. So sad, was so juicy, so thick, biggest structure this plant had ever produced. At least the eye is still there and it's growing new roots now. Oh yeah, this is the other part. This happened also already, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, maybe longer. I don't remember, but still look, it's so springy and nice still. But yeah, normally this plant would be like this and be like, hi. Maybe next year it could be blooming, but yeah, no, probably not. So yeah, that's a bit sad. Okay, let's maybe have a look at our stats. We have 24-ish degrees Celsius, which I guess is like in the 70s Fahrenheit, right? I don't know. And 50% humidity. Yeah, this is kind of what we're working with. Yeah, these are some more young plants and smaller plants as well. And I don't know if you can see, but some of the Tolumnias I have are working on buds or spikes. There's one here. Love Tolumnias. Tolumnias, like these complex Tolumnia hybrids are really the only hybrids I really have, or more complex mixed hybrids. I do have some primary hybrids, but yeah, most of the collection is actually species, except for these Tolumnias. I guess everyone needs to have a little bit of a easier going, fun thing. And Tolumnias are that for me. Yeah, wait, there was something else. Ah, yeah, true. I showed this Cattleya percivaliana. That bud is actually still going on and continuing. I don't know if it's going to show up, but there's definitely some bud happening inside. And then this is it's the Cattleya labiata rubra that I showed, which has sheaths but no buds inside. So maybe it's resting, maybe it's just a practice thing, so who knows. But yeah, this is kind of the overview over the collection. I have to water them also, like literally yesterday. Normally I water on Saturday, let them drink up what they need and then discard any leftover water on Sunday. Now it's Sunday evening, you can see it's already dark outside. And I still have to water. Yeah, so thanks a lot for dropping in. Thanks a lot for having a look at my plants. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to kind of maybe go more in depth on. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.